Okay, new moon in Aries, a new start is here. It's time to take action. It's time to step into a new beginning for you. The world is going through, the collective consciousness globally, we're going through this whole new shift in energy. And because there are so many celestial bodies in the sign of Aries at the moment, this is going to be a time where we will look back and go, that's exactly when things started to change. We're now ready to step into our true, whole, authentic self. And regardless of what is happening externally, we're feeling it internally. And the more comfortable we become with that, our true self on the inside, the more comfortable we are going to be externally with others. It is about you anchoring your power now. It is about you fully stepping into and embodying your authentic self. That's going to ruffle some feathers because there are plenty of people out in the world that are not conscious. Well, let me rephrase that. No, they're not consciously aware, more to the point. So there will be people who will feel a significant shift within themselves, and there will be people who will see a significant shift happening to you, but not recognizing that they too are going through it, or not even acknowledging that there is such a thing and it is just drama. So there's a couple of streams of energy here, and you may fall into one of them or all of them. The best thing for us all at this time is to calm our nervous systems by practicing breath work, by grounding, by forest bathing, by hydrating, and by moving the body, moving and stretching and expanding the body. Because the more safe our soul and our nervous system is, the more calm and peaceful and relaxed our nervous system is, the better able we are to step into this fresh new beginning. Now, it doesn't mean that if you're not feeling that way that it's going to crash down around you. It doesn't mean that at all. Just be consciously aware of where your energy's at and where your stress levels are at and where your nervous system is reacting and what are those trigger points. Because the more we can step into self-awareness and acknowledging that, hang on a minute, I'm feeling really tense right now. My body feels really tight. I just need to pause on whatever I'm doing and step back. And it's important that we don't fall into that trap of urgency. Obviously, safety risks and emergency medical situations are very different, but everything else can be paused and wait. There can be a waiting period. It is okay. There's always a solution. It doesn't have to be a stock standard solution. There's always a creative solution available in any circumstance. Okay, I'm rambling, but I'm wanting to, this is coming through. So be mindful that we're all in this heightened state of there's change. And when there's change, there's discomfort. And when there's discomfort, people can project outwards, or they can take self-responsibility and look internally at what their own personal triggers are and recognize where they are, and also respond, not react. when other people are going through stuff too. So there is a fresh new opportunity coming. There is a fresh new beginning. It does feel very... I'm hearing alerting. So it alerting in the sense that you already internally know where you're going, even though you think you don't know. Your soul knows where you're going and what you're doing. And so there'll be little warning signs or little alerts along the way. Notifications, let's call them, rather than warning signs. Little notifications. Okay, take note here. This is a clue. This is... And those will come with resonance. For the last few days, I've been... Actually, since the full moon, I've been in a really wonderful creative space and creating not just a new series of artworks, but other things as well. Like, I really feel this need to create and express myself. And that's because Aries is in my 5th house and it's my moon, which is me in my child, my inner child, and my creativity and my expression. And so that's where I've been connecting with that Aries energy for myself. And I lost track. Where were we headed? Oh, but there have been a few things that I've needed to obviously be consciously aware of for my own evolution. And I have asked the question of the angels and the universe, which effectively is asking my soul at the same time. I just need a little bit more guidance or a little bit more awareness of certain things unique to me. And lo and behold, ask and you do receive. There's these little resonance of information that appears, little things that sort of drop out. And that's where I've been connecting for my own highest good and well-being. You will have your own way, or you may have something very similar. Do share it in the comments, whatever it is. Because some people haven't fully embodied their own intuitive, psychic, telepathic, sensory perceptions yet. Okay, so we're going to dive into a little bit more about what the energies are around at the moment. And oops, I have got the Gaia cards by Tony Carmine Salerno. Now on the bottom is thinking of you. So there does a loving thought, serendipity. A loving thought, serendipity, and that's number 29 if anyone's working with their numbers frequency at the moment. So 2 and 9 together is 11. Okay, so this to me feels very much about fond memories, fond thoughts, and that's another thing that has been popping up over the last couple of weeks since the full moon are memories, and they're memories of times where my emotions have been heightened in one way or another, not just happy ones, but uncomfortable ones as well. And they are part of the recognition for me about that point there, that memory there. That was a significant time where the emotions were so heightened and wonderful and beautiful and blissful that take note of those feelings and remember to connect in with those feelings in order to help keep your momentum going. Or on the flip side, that point there, that memory, that was a real challenge because something happened at that particular time where you couldn't consciously step into awareness of what was fully happening from a big picture perspective. You were so in the moment that you had to squash everything and deal with the practical side of things. So that, when you look at that, take a step back, and rejig it so you can see what it actually has happened to you physiologically, you're able to shift things. When you dive deeper into some healing work or self-recognition. Shadow work is constant. We're never not going to stop doing our shadow work because it is part of recognizing who we are in all of our multifacets. So this is a sign and a message to remind you that you are being thought of in loving ways, and maybe you are thinking of others in loving ways as well. Now, the card that fell out is Liberation, which is an amazing, try not to get the light reflected in the card because it makes it harder to read, doesn't it? Liberation. Breaking free from a negative attachment. Okay, so that is kind of exactly what I said. Loving thoughts and liberation. So remembering the good times and remembering the other times where they weren't so good, but because you're able to take a step back and look at the big picture and all of the facets around it, you're now liberating yourself from that. And we're in the fire horse year, which is all about liberation. So you're breaking free. You're breaking free from stuff from the past. That's pretty cool. We're ready to amp up. We're ready to step into some, and that's a number 25, which is a 7. And that is my life path number. Okay, so we've got the feminine and the masculine energies that we're going to work with. The feminine is the Sun, Moon Tarot, and the masculine is the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot. We're going to move into that. Welcome to the Light Studio. If you're here, if you've made it 12 minutes in. If you feel in resonance with this information, then you're more than welcome to come and join us over at the Light Crew community, which is on the school platform. Now, the link for that will be listed below in the description box. And it's a wonderful place. It's a sacred place for aligning with self, aligning with soul, and aligning with community. Now, it's only new, so we're only just starting to build it, and the engagement is building. But I do have other tiers in there as well for connection. All right, so we're calling on the Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine, Divine Feminine, Divine Feminine. We call on you now. We ask for your crystal clear guidance at this Aries new moon time around a liberation. What is it that we are liberating from, or can we have some more information around that, please? Okay, so on the bottom we have the 10 of Wands, oppression. You're liberating from oppression. Okay, you're liberating from a space where you have felt stuck and stagnant, where you felt like you couldn't fully be yourself. This is the feminine. She is rising. She is definitely rising up, even though it's masculine energy at the moment with all this fire in Aries, and we're in the age of Aquarius, which is also an air sign, which is also very masculine. The feminine, it's almost like the masculine is actually holding the space for the feminine to rise right now, the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So the first card that's flipped out is the Prince of Swords. This is going to happen very, very quickly. You will notice change and shifts happening almost like bang, 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 bang. And I feel like that's going to be a result within the next 2 weeks to 3 months. So until July, like the next big celestial, planetary, astrological significant time is going to be in July. So between now and July, you are going to see big shifts, big changes. So by the time we get to July, and if you're listening to this way after and not current, remember energy is fluid, and July might be the next time frame for you, or in 3 months time from the time that you're listening to this. So there are going to be some pretty big shifts happening, and they are going to happen rather quickly. Remember, general reading, we're not going to get nitty gritty, but I do get this sense that there's also a cutting loose, a cutting free of ties that bind, is what I just heard. So what I'm hearing is that there will be a recognition within the self, the divine feminine, fully now awake, aware, and prominent in her power, has said, okay, we're cutting through this bullshit. I'm not dealing with that anymore. That needs a little bit of work. We're just going to put that on the back burner and come back to that later. So we're not letting it go completely, but we just need to put it on ice for a bit, because now we need to move forward. Now is a movement time. Now is an action time. We've got the Fool energy, and all of our innate knowledge and wisdom is coming to the surface, along with the Nine of Wands, which says strength in this particular card. And this is because the divine feminine has done all the hard yards. She has been oppressed for so long that this energy, that's rising right now, is saying, okay, I'm pulling on my boots, and I'm strapping in my sword, picking up my shield, and I'm buffing off my protective gear, because now I'm ready to take action and move forward in my divine feminine way. I'm trusting in my own soul self that now is the time to honor my blueprint and my integrity. I know that I have support around me, spiritual support and ancestral support. Well, one and the same, really. So big changes happening in the feminine. I feel so empowered right now on the edge of my seat. There's this pulsating feeling. It does feel like, remember, Aries is connected to the planet of Mars, which is the planet of war. But it's less about war and more about warrior. So you're ready for battle. You'd much rather words should be spoken, but actions must be taken. And some actions are about cutting loose, cutting the ties that bind, and moving forward. And that may be something as simple as starting a new exercise regime, or going for a walk around the block twice a week, or maybe even picking up the pace and doing a third walk around the block. There's something that an action needs to be taken for yourself in order to step into and stretch outside and expand outside of your comfort zone, because there's no more playing small. The divine feminine energy won't let us play small anymore. And if you're playing small, then you're going to be left behind, which means that drama, and I'm hearing the word toxicity. If you're very heavy in toxicity, and there are going to be a whole gamut of things about what is toxic, but you'll know uniquely for what that is for you. We all have our own path. We all have our own path. All right, we're calling in divine masculine, divine masculine, divine masculine. We're calling you now. We call in you, and we ask for your messages for our highest good and well-being. All right, half the deck just flipped over, so we're going to try that again. We ask for your guidance at this time. Divine masculine, divine masculine, divine masculine. Thank you. Thank you, divine masculine. All right. So on the bottom we have death. And this literally is exactly what we were talking about. The masculine is holding the space for the feminine to cut shit loose, literally. And it is part of the old patriarchal energy, which is what I just saw and heard as I looked into that. The feminine is ready to rise. There's a fresh new beginning, and the masculine is recognizing it's time to bow. The wounded masculine is recognizing it's time to bow out now. It's time to pass the cup over. Not necessarily back to the matriarch, but into a more balanced union of the divine energies of both masculine and feminine. Okay, so we also have the 10 of Swords. So the divine feminine had the 10 of Wands. The divine masculine has the 10 of Swords. Again, another ending of this energy. There is going to be lots of endings, the 10 of Swords, especially around mental stuff, fears that have blocked you, that have stopped you. We're in this energy, this space now. Also Aries and Chiron Chiron has been in the sign of Aries since 2018, and there's a particular generation, Gen X in particular, and I think it's like from 65, 68 to 70 something, may even be early 80s, where Chiron has been in Aries when you were born. So and that's all about identity and the wounds about who we are as individuals. I'm one of those peeps. So yeah, this is about to shift. Chiron is about to shift. There's a beautiful conjunction happening at the moment, which means it's a wonderful dance. Chiron and Aries with the sun and the moon. It's a beautiful dance. So there's a beautiful recognition of the self at this particular time. So those old belief systems and those old programmings and conditionings, they're being laid to rest. You're fully stepping into a power now, and you're getting ready, the 3 of Wands, you're getting ready to take a big long journey, a new journey. And this new journey, interesting, the Devil, this new journey is about, and what I'm hearing and seeing, it's about walking beside the Devil, not trapped in the Devil energy, but walking beside the Devil. So all of the tarot cards, all of the cards have positive and negative, light and dark. And the Devil's lightness is about, it's about self-awareness to a point where you know you can play and dance and be exotic and, you know, explore stuff that could be deemed toxic. But when you're fully aware of yourself and you've integrated a lot of stuff within you, you know where that point is for the self. You know where you can say, hang on a minute, addiction is kicking in, or no, the fact that I'm craving it means I've come too far, I need to step back. So there's a really beautiful self-awareness of your shadow energy now, and you've embraced and embodied the shadow energy into taking it with you on the journey, not pushing it back. This feels pretty damn enlightening and empowering at the moment. Remember, it's part of that liberation. It's part of the liberation energy. So it's time to take action for yourself. Whatever you've been resisting doing, step into it. Question, why have I been resisting it? Because the resistance is actually, there's power in that resistance. And whatever you've been resisting is part of what's going to assist you. Feel the resistance, feel the fear, and do it anyway, because that resistance is actually the key to you living a much more empowered, embodied, loving and wonderful life. So it doesn't end there. There's a journey. We're on the journey. We're here for the experiences. But I am going to end this here now. If you're part of the light crew, hang on, there's more to come. So thanks very much for being here. Do subscribe to the channel if it is resonating with you, and stay tuned for the full moon. That's when I do the moon sign readings as well as the full moon energy readings. And if you'd like to book a private reading, you can on my website, and the link for that is below in the description box. So thanks for sticking around. Good luck in your liberation. Spread your wings and fly. Toodaloo.